Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. We're in the second week of the new year. How exciting is that? 2019 is going to be a really great year. It's going to be a great year for music. It's going to be a great year for prosperity. And we're just going to have a really, really good time here on Grandma's Attic. Tonight's show is nothing short of spectacular. That's all I've got to say. I met this gentleman through the Connecticut Blues Society, and he is actually the winner of the Solo Duo Challenge that is going to be representing Connecticut Blues Society in Connecticut in Memphis this year. So you know he's got to be pretty good if that's what is going on, if he's going to Memphis to represent us in our little state here. I think you'll enjoy him. I know I do. Help me welcome into your home, Steve Hatch.
Thank you. I'm going to start off with a song that's mostly instrumental, although I might change my mind in the middle of it. But I call it Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner, and it's kind of like your normal day. You wake up, you kind of work the creaks out, and then you go through your day. So. Well, I run a band called the Redliners, and I always start off our gigs with a song called Kansas City. Kansas City's got a couple different ways of doing it, but this particular one is a Junior Wells song. So I'll start off with that. Well, I woke up this morning feeling bad, thinking about a girl that I once said I'm on the move. I'm on the move. I'm on the move to Kansas City, where don't lie you. Walking down Main Street, looking for Bill, looking for a girl they call Lucille. I'm on the move. I'm on the move. I'm on the move to Kansas City, where don't lie you. Where the Mississippi River runs, Lord, deep and wide. Can't see her on the other side. I'm on a move. I'm on a move now, y'all. I'm on a move to Kansas City, where don't lie you. I'm on the move. I'm on the move now, y'all. I'm on the move. I'm on the move. I'm on the move to Kansas City, where they don't allow you. Thank you. Well, what would be a blues show without a little bit of Johnny Cash? Everybody knows this song. But it's better if I play it in the right key. I hear that train a-comin', rolling around the bend. I ain't seen sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, time keeps rolling on. That train keeps a-rolling on out of San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with a gun. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. I bet rich folks are eating in a fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming, I know I can't be free. Those people keep a moving, allow it tortures me. If they freed me from that prison, if that railroad train was mine, probably move a little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I'm gonna stay. And I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. All right. Let's see here. This is a song I wrote down in Texas a long time ago. It's been playing it around here in Connecticut for a while, but it's a keeper. And I wrote it on some hard times. I lost everything through a bad divorce and started all over down there. And I had a harmonica, and I wrote the song, so I'm going to try the harp a little bit here. Make sure I got the right one. Well, I'm standing on a glass mountain, looking for them diamonds I've been throwing all away. Standing on a glass mountain, Lord, look at them diamonds I've been throwing all away. Yeah, the youth is wasted on the young. Lord knows, don't you think I'm feeling kind of old today? Well, they say you should treat your body like a temple. I've been treating mine like an old shack. Yeah, they say you should treat your body like a temple now, y'all. I've been treating mine like Disneyland. Yeah, the youth is wasted on the young. Lord knows, don't you think I'm feeling kind of old today? So this is an instrumental I'm going to try next, but it's kind of like a Buddy Guy and Junior Wells thing. I think they call it Chili Con Carne. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm trying. So I think that's what it is. This is a song I wrote recently. Still working the kinks out. I've tried it instrumentally, but I'm going to try to put some words to it. I don't even have I think I'm going to name it Mind Over Matter. Was actually writing this a little bit on the spot at the Blues Challenge. The music part. I'm a singer from Texas, at least that's what I like to say. Truth is, I was born in Cleveland on spring's first day. Cleveland's cold, it's kind of tough. I guess that what makes me a little bit rough. Mind over matter, if you don't have no mind, doesn't matter anyway. I ran around circles to get from point A to B. Seemed like life was getting the best of me. I went to Texas to start all over again. Mind over matter, if you don't have no mind, don't matter anyway. Went to Texas, start all over again. If you had your ups, if you have your downs, it's better walk around with a smile than a frown. Mind over matter, if you don't have no mind, it just doesn't matter anyway. Went to Texas to start all over again. Learn to be a man all over again. But it really doesn't matter. Mind over matter, if you don't have no mind, it just doesn't matter anyway.
Woohoo!
A little bit of old cowboy
one
music.
more and then come talk to me?
Sure.
All right.
This last song I know you've heard. It's called "The Roller Coaster Man," and I wrote it on the spot out of kind of like kind of anti-ness towards the guitar player I was mad at, and then my wife said it was demented. But it's called "The Roller Coaster Man." I'm the roller coaster man, I done rolled on into your town. I'm the roller coaster man, I done rolled on over to town. Had my ups, had my downs, but the roller coaster man, he done rolled in your town. Drink my coffee and I drink it strong, just in case the day's a little too long. Well, I'm the roller coaster man. I'm the roller coaster man. I'm the roller coaster man. I done roll on in your town. Well, I wake up early morning almost every day. Time for work, time for play. Well, I'm the roller coaster man. I'm the roller coaster man. I'm the roller coaster man. I done roll on in your time. I'm the roller coaster man. 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 I done roll on in your town.
Awesome. While Steve's coming over to sit with us and talk, let me just remind you that we are in the dead of winter, and it's really important to take care of our community and our neighbors. You need to hook up your mic. And if you have neighbors that are with children or that are elderly, please check on them. Make sure that the children have socks on their feet and that there's food in the refrigerator, and make sure that your elderly have heat. It's so important for us to take care of the people that we live next to, and that it seems to be a dying art. So check on your neighbors, and let's keep this community vibrant. Hi, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome to Grandma's Attic.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you here. The first time I ever saw you play, I was like, wow. And watching you play for the challenge was just incredible.
Thank you.
People sit back and just look at you with jaw drop. It's not a disease, it's a thing.
It might be the increasing size of my belly.
I don't know anything about that. Steve, when did you get started in music?
Well, I took lessons as a child, and I actually think I was a better piano player at age 9 than I am now. Unfortunately, my mother went through a lot of different marriages, and so did my real father. So there was an economic issue, and the piano lesson stopped at around 9 or 10, and I put it on the shelf for about 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't know that you had to do music?
I kind of didn't really think I had a choice at the time. Believe it or not, 100 pounds ago, I was a 4-minute miler for Ohio State University.
Oh, wow.
And I really concentrated on running, and that was my ticket to get to college. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't have done that same path.
You wouldn't
I'd go
have.
straight to music.
You would have gone straight to music?
Absolutely.
What makes you write a song, Steve? Because you write so many.
Well, I think a lot of it is to get either sadness or melancholy or possibly joy to come out, and maybe the joy part is more to share with others and get people to connect that way.
I'll never forget the first time I heard Roller Coaster Man. It's a crazy song.
Yeah.
Now, you wrote that because you were mad at somebody?
Kind of. I don't want to mention who because he's a close friend, but
Right,
we were
right,
playing
right.
music, and I was kicking that song around a little bit. I used the lyrics from another song that I was writing that was more of a Freddie King / Beatles idea.
Yep.
And I didn't really have the right bandmates in order to sit down and do it the way I wanted to, so I added a few things and changed it to kind of an old shuffle, crazy,
It's fun.
boogie woogie-ish, but not really boogie woogie. And my wife hates the song. The first time I ever did it live with the band called the Redliners.
Yeah, I know the
That's my
Redliners.
main band. That's my real focus. And I don't know, I just came out and did it. The crowd laughed and liked it, and so I started doing it more and more. And anybody that knows me knows that I don't even like the song that much because my wife hates it. But it seems to make people happy when they hear it.
It's a fun song.
I like it when people sing along with it.
Right.
That's always fun.
After they've heard it a couple of times, it's pretty easy to do that with.
Well, they don't have to hear it more than all the audience has to do is rebut Roller Coaster Man.
Right.
But people are like,
Yeah, that's fun. So you use your songwriting to, let's say, put forth your emotions. How does it make you feel to know that what you're doing with that is making people like me that don't really always know what their emotions are say, yeah, that's how I feel?
It's a good question. I think writing a song, the important thing is you should tell some kind of a story. Hopefully a story that everybody can relate to. Everybody's had the feeling of being up or down, have the blues or be happy or be really sad if you went through something tough like loss of a loved one or divorce or a failed relationship. There's everybody sings about that kind of stuff, know.
Right.
So if you tell a story, sometimes I think you could tell funny stories through songs too.
Yeah.
So, but it's like having a canvas, but you don't have to buy paint.
Oh, well, there you go. No, you just have to lug equipment.
Yeah, that's
So
not the easy part.
you're going to be going to Memphis representing the Connecticut Blues Society and the state of Connecticut in the Solo Duo Challenge. Have you ever been to Memphis before?
Many times.
Ever as a competitor?
Only once. I was with a band called the Rich Badowski Blues Band
I know
in
Rich.
2012.
Yeah, we know Rich really
And
well.
that was a weird experience because that particular band had been thrown together kind of as just to get some gigs, and on a whim, my bass player and my drummer and me all joined forces with Sean Leonard and Rich Badowski, and we started doing gigs, and it sounded pretty good, so we entered the competition. But we
And won. I remember that. I was
and
actually
it was kind
there
of weird
for
that
that.
we won it because there was a lot of bands that had been playing for years and going on again, and we just won it. And then I've brought really good things with the Redliners in there. I made it to the finals once, but my goal is to have the Redliners win the thing so we can all go to Memphis together and enjoy that. But it's a really cool place. I like it.
Maybe next year.
Maybe. We'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't enter as a solo duo next year.
No,
so.
that's fine. That's fine.
Are you
It's not-
excited? You're excited about going to Memphis?
I am, but I'm also very nervous because soloing is very rare and new to me. in a way. I mean, of course, we as musicians, we all start off solo, but you're out there by yourself, and it's a different game than when you have the band around you.
It is. Now, it takes quite a bit of money to go to Memphis. Do you have any fundraisers planned?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We had one, and it did all right, but we could use a little more help, my wife and I. And on the 13th of January, we're going to be at June's Outback in Killingworth.
Nice. June's Outback is a great place to
And
play.
that's, I guess, tomorrow. If what?
Right. Right.
So, if you don't have anything to do, we're going to be down there from 1 till 3 or 4. Larry Willie will be on the guitar.
Oh, nice.
Brian Cottle, my old drummer, will be helping me out, and my new bass player, Jackson LaRose, will be there. And maybe my guitar player's friends will show up too. Mike Bloomer's also part of the Redliners.
Right.
Larry and Mike platoon for each other because they're in other bands.
Mm-hmm.
But Larry's pegged to be on that one, and he's bringing the sound. So
Okay.
but June's has great food, and it's a good staff, and it's easy parking, and it's a nice sounding room. But most importantly,
It's a really good sounding room, and June really, she tries to make everybody welcome, and the food there is
it is really
die
good.
for.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's reasonably priced.
good
so,
stuff.
yeah.
It's good stuff.
Well, June actually hired the Redliners when I first got to Connecticut, and I'll be forever grateful to her because we had a jam there every Monday night for I think 4 years.
Wow.
And a lot of people didn't live near Killingworth, and people came down, but it was like a paid rehearsal, and the band got pretty good along the way there. So I don't think their staff wants to hear the Redliners too much. I think we played there over 200 times. But
It's better there than nowhere. Now, you were doing a gig down here in New London at a place that I think it's called the Turning Tide now. Are you guys still doing that on Sundays
no,
anymore?
unfortunately, that didn't work out very well, so I don't want to say much more about that.
Okay, no, that's fine.
We
That's
are
fine.
playing at Daddy Jack's regularly. We'll be at Daddy Jack's in February.
Okay.
I think it's on the 15th or 16th, one of those two, because we're also at the Maple Tree that weekend.
Jack Chaplin's really good about getting word out, so we'll know.
Jack is a great guy, very
He's
supportive
awesome.
of music. And I think in February, if you look up Steve Hatch on Facebook, we're playing at Black Eyed Sally's, the Maple Tree, Daddy Jack's, the Rock Garden out in Watertown. And there's something else, but I can't remember it offhand.
We love Black Eyed Sally's. That's a great room to play, and it's
Sure
had some
is.
amazing musicians play it. Who are some of the people that you look to and have aspired to be like in your career and in your musical playing?
That's a good question. I think the way that I play the piano is a little more, I approach it more like probably a guitar player would, which I think gives me kind of a unique style on the piano. I'm kind of an idiot savant in that sense because I don't really spend a lot of time researching other musicians, so I kind of take my own approach to certainly my own material. But I love Ray Charles. I think he's one of the best of all time. There's just so many. There's so many great musicians, but Buddy Guy and Junior Wells are some of my favorite blues guys. John Lee Hooker, Albert Collins. More recently, I was into Kebmo for a little while. I liked him. Taj Mahal. So those are some of like my favorites that I think I kind of learned by listening. I learned the blues through listening to guys like that.
Now, you're not originally from Connecticut. How did you get misplaced to Connecticut? How did you end up coming here and staying here?
Well, I started off in Ohio, and then I moved down to Texas in 1998, and went through a pretty bad time previous to that. I got in some trouble and had to pay the price for it. And
we all do.
And I decided that it was time to make a complete change. I went down to Houston. And coming from a small town in Ohio where the environment is similar to Connecticut. It's rolling hills. Connecticut's more mountainous almost, or hilly. But I went down to Texas. I was very, very depressed about losing. I lost everything, and I ended up moving closer to Austin, and I got fed up with the world, and I rode a bicycle around Texas for about 5 years.
Wow.
Had a backpack, and just went from town to town, played the piano in nursing homes in exchange for food and water, and I got lots of weird odd jobs that I could tell lots of stories about for hours.
Oh, I bet.
And then I finally started to get tired of it. I think it was in my early 40s, and I wrote some songs doing that, but it was more of, I don't know what it was, but it was like living like a wild animal almost. And then I went down to 6th Street one night. 6th Street in Austin is where all the kids and the tourists go to drink, and that's where a lot of the bars are. And in Austin, there's music everywhere.
There is.
There was a blues bar called Nuno's, and Pine Top Perkins was hosting a Monday jam, or I think it was a Monday night jam there
Wow.
in his 90s. But he would come in and there'd be a good band behind him, and he would play 2 or 3 songs. He's 90 some years old, so
Right.
that's all you're going to get out of him. But there were all these very articulate jazz piano players, and nobody wanted to follow them. And I said, I'll do it. And I went up there and I sang Kansas City. And I think I sang another couple songs that I wrote. And in the crowd, I ended up bumping into who's now my wife. And we have the same birthday, and we just fell in love on the spot. And she was living in D.C., so I moved to D.C. with her. And then I did not like the big city, and she didn't really like it either. So she had a little rental house from her college days in Middletown, and I said, well, let me see if I like it up there. And I liked it immediately up here. I love it in Connecticut. I think it's great.
I love Connecticut too.
People are like, what are you here for? And I'm like, no, you guys are pretty lucky. And I always say you guys because I still feel like an outsider, but
Well, don't, because you're definitely part of what's going on in the Connecticut music scene. Absolutely. Now, where do you see your music going from here after the Blues Challenge?
Well, I hope that the Blues Challenge can facilitate us as a band getting more gigs. It's very tough to get gigs. It's very competitive, and it's also kind of like everything's kind of sewn up. So, I'm hoping that the success of that I can parlay into more gigs for the band, and then see where that leads.
Okay, are there any thoughts or plans for a CD to come out?
Not really. I think that ship is about ready to sail in terms of how people listen to music, which is too bad, but I think it's becoming more and more digital and instantaneous. And there's a lot of expense involved. Now, I've considered just taking some really good recordings of our live shows and making a live CD out of that. But I really need us to find somebody with the studio time, but it's a little bit financial. So
Yeah, I understand that.
yeah.
I'm just going to give you a little DJ's advice. Things have gone back to vinyl, and the digital age is real, but it's never going to replace vinyl and CDs. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Keep it in the back of your mind. I told people 10 years ago that vinyl was coming back, and it is. It's a big thing. So we've run out of time.
Okay.
I need you to take us out with a song if you could.
Okay.
I think that you have something wonderful for us. I thank you so much for coming in.
too, dear.
Good luck in Memphis.
Thank you,
Don't
dear.
forget to undo your mic.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me. 'Cause I wanted-
So Steve's going to go back over and get ready to play us a song to take us out. I just want to remind you all that there are so many great little mom and pop shops. When I say that, I mean independently owned by people in your neighborhood. Go and support them. There's a fun place to go would be the Drunken Palette. You go in there and you learn to paint, and she guarantees that you can leave there with a painting. So check her out. Check out The Hygienic. The Hygienic Independent Show is coming up a week after next, I believe, and anybody can put a piece of art into that. So if you want to put a piece of art into the show, then please show up there. I believe it's the 26th. You can look it up on hygienic.org. We're going to let Steve take you out with a song now. Until next week, everybody, bye-bye and God bless.
Hey, mother, can I please come back home? Hey, mother, can I please come back home? No was all she said. Gonna have to leave me alone. Hey, brother, how the wife and kids? He said just fine. Just need a little while, place to lay my head. Hey, brother, can I please come back home? No is all he said.